All right, we are live and rolling. We've already got some people here live listening on YouTube. I think Jonathan's message came in like half an hour early. Jonathan, awesome to see you. Hope you're well. We've got Jamie on here. Always great to learn new things. GI junk removal, can't wait to hear, especially as we move into the new year. And Jamie is excited. Appreciate the support there, guys. So we're going to just let a couple more people jump on. We've got some all ready, and then we're going to roll right into this. I'm excited. Looking forward to this. Kevin is in the house. We're actually going to be going through his Google business profile today and getting some stuff rocking and rolling on there live with you guys. So, I'm going to go through some stuff, and then we're actually going to dive in live and look at his profile and see what's going on and what we can do to get it rocking. Can everybody drop a comment on where you're tuning in from? Kevin Hess. Hey, Kevin Hess. Yeah, drop a comment where you guys are tuning in from. I'm going to share this out to a few groups, and then I'm going to be right back with you guys. So as you guys are leaving comments, I'll see where that's coming in from. So I'm just going to Facebook to make sure everybody over there is seeing what we're seeing. And then we'll go from there. We've got a bunch of different people in the house here. Megan, awesome. I'm really glad you made it on here. Got that email. Utah. We've got Kansas City, Douglasville, California, Kentucky today. Jamie's all over the place. I've seen her traveling. Suburbs of Chicago, Lancaster, New Jersey. I love it. Well, my Facebook is glitching out, so I can't share it out. I will shoot a message to my team to make sure we share this into the group, and we will rock and roll. All right, guys, it's about to begin. Just asking Sarah to share this into the group. My Facebook page. All right, let's go. Taylor Swift's boyfriend's hometown, yeah. And Fayetteville, Georgia. Awesome. And then as I roll into it, if you guys can drop your comments on what you're most excited to learn or questions you have, and then we will actually have we should have a chance to dive into questions here with you to look at what you've got going on, see if I can't give you some assistance and make it happen for you. All right, let's roll. Drop those in the comments though. Take your time, and I'm going to start presenting, and we're going to go from there. Right. You should be able to see my screen. Let me know. I'm going to just put my face down there. Got two faces of me here, and we are going to go. So welcome to our webinar. I'm going to be talking today about Google business profiles and things that you can do. So how you can optimize your profile, how you can update your profile, not just the one time at the beginning, but how you can continually update it, do posts, do pictures and whatnot. I was going to try and share from my screen, but I can't present through my phone to StreamYard. So I've taken some screenshots here to show you guys how you can actually use, teach your team or use your phone yourself to upload photos from the job. So we're going to get into that there. Some stuff that your team can do, and then citations, and we'll get into a few more things, but how to get local directory listings, how to find them, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for the support, and love the comments. So we'll just hit some of these here. Wondering how the algorithms have changed in terms of how often updates, questions, photos. We will get into that. And just catching the live. I love it. Appreciate it, Jamie. Good stuff. So what can you expect? I'm going to go through a little bit about my background for those of you who don't know. We're going to obviously dive into business profiles. That's why you're here. I'm going to give you a cheat sheet at the end, and I'll show that here shortly, but I'm going to give you a cheat sheet that you guys can take away and look over your business profiles and do some of the stuff that we've gone through today. This will also be recorded. So if you signed up for the webinar through email, you'll be able to, we'll be sending it out after, the recording. It will also be right at this link on YouTube where you're watching it, if you're watching it live. So if you know a friend who should be here, share this link out with them. If you know someone who you go through this and you're like, man, that was awesome. Share it out with them. The link will still be the same on YouTube. Then we're going to go through Kevin Hess's business. We're going to go through his profile and actually optimize it. I haven't touched his profile yet, so we're going to go through and do an audit as well as do some live updates for him. He just shared access to me before we jumped on, and then we're going to have a question session. All right, so who is Lewis? I'm a husband and a circus leader to 4. You can probably hear them upstairs through the mic. They are running around and having a blast. I have a background in construction, so all through high school, I worked in construction. I, did everything from installing pools to doing concrete to doing framing to drywall, all of that stuff. I really enjoyed it. Did it for 4 years after high school. Looked at, okay, I want to start a family. I want to start have a career that can support that. So I ended up going and getting a degree in mechanical engineering. And then soon after I finished with my degree, had been working in mechanical engineering for about 4 years, all through school, through university. I started Blue Crocus Solutions and then went full-time about a year later. So I've been doing it now for 5+ years, and I love marketing. I really love marketing. If you haven't checked out the new podcast that I started, I had a podcast that has about 150 episodes called the Blue Crocus Experience. Some awesome guests on there, but I've also started a new one really focused on marketing and bringing people in to talk with me and to you guys about, different things of marketing. We have the ads, we have the Google business profiles, we have the SEO, all that stuff. But there's so much outside of that you can be doing and should be doing that an agency can't do and that only you can do. So that's what I want to talk about on the podcast. So I'm passionate about marketing. I'm also a believer that you can look like a 50-year-old company in a very short time online. We're going to go through some of that here on your Google business profile and how you can really start to get some movement going and look like you've been around forever. Get tons of reviews, do tons of posts, show Google that you're super active, and be that person that has the answers in the area. And my goal here is to help you grow your business. So I can promise you're going to get something out of this today. Some of this I haven't shared with very many people, so there should be some nuggets that you haven't heard. And if you have some questions that I don't cover, ask them at the end, and we will hit it. All right, we're going to dive right in. I'm going to try and go through here fairly quickly. I value your guys' time. You're taking time out of your day, and I want to really be cognizant of that and provide value. So we're going to jump right in here with 40% of traffic or more. I've seen estimates up to 70% in some cases go to the map pack, especially in local. It can be actually skewed quite a bit higher. But that's pretty significant. You've got the ads, you've got the Google business profiles, you've got websites. If you can show up in the map pack in the top 3 or very close to the top, that's a significant amount of traffic that you have an opportunity to snag. This is not something you can sleep on. If you don't have a Google business profile, you got to go out and get one. I believe everybody that I'm talking to, at least in the comments here, has one, but you've got to have a Google business profile, and you just really need to make sure that that's happening. So Jonathan's saying product section for junk removal. I'm actually going to get into that. I am a believer in it. We're going to actually optimize Kevin's here live and show you guys how you can very quickly write content for that. So there's 2 podcasts, Jamie. One is called the Blue Crocus Experience, and the new one is called Marketing Without Rules. All right, so we're going to dive back in here. I love the interaction, guys. Keep it up. If you guys have a comment or a question as we're going through, ask it in the comments, and I'll try and pay attention to that as well. So what is a Google listing? It's this part here. Again, I think most people on here that are at least commenting know what it is, but it is the listing that you can have that shows up in the maps on Google. So you need to be on here. And I have a little nugget here that I really don't want you to miss. You need to be on Bing as well. Bing has its own version of a business profile. And oftentimes you can log right into Bing through your Google business profile manager email and port a lot of that info directly over to your Bing listing. So now everything that you filled out on your Google profile, it's over there on your Bing profile as well. Sometimes you'll have to verify it, but often it will just take the info. If you're verified on Google, it will allow you to be verified on Bing, and you can rock and roll. And more people are using Bing. We track leads for clients and where they come from. DuckDuckGo, Bing, some of these other random search engines, you can't just ignore them. Google's kind of the big daddy in this space, but that's not going to be forever. And you need to be diversifying where you are and what you do. All right, so that's what Google Business Profiles are. And here's the Google Business Profile wheel of magic. First, we're going to go through, and we'll do this live. I figured it would be most applicable to see it live as we go through Kevin's listing. So we need to make sure that all the info is right on your listing and everywhere online. You also need to list your website, your it's called your NAP, your name, address, and phone number, everywhere in directory listings, on your website, on your Google Business Profile, on your Facebook. Your name, address, and phone number needs to be the same, your NAP. Google pays attention to that. Actually, fun fact, when you're applying for business credit, it's the same thing. Business credit bureaus look at your name, address, and phone number and website, and are they the same all across the internet? If they're not, they're like, I don't know what's going on. You can actually really increase your chances of getting business credit if you have your name, address, and phone number existing. That's just a fun sidebar that relates to making sure it's good for SEO as well. You need to continue to add updates and photos. Someone asked before about what the algorithms are. We're seeing some tremendous growth and movement when people are doing this consistently. And then we're going to go through how you can train your team to assist you in doing some of those updates. So we're going to get into that as well. This next slide here actually goes directly to the updates here. So this was a client that we've had. They've been working with us for well over a year and a half, I believe. We built their website and then they came, I forget the exact timeline. But you can see here, this was earlier this year. This is actually where his address was. And usually you rank the best around your address. Turns out he was ranking the best, like in all the areas he didn't want to be ranking. And we'd been doing SEO on his business listing for a while, and things were just really odd. So I decided to, really dig deep into this one and look at it. And that's when we discovered kind of the efficacy of posting frequently on your listing. So this was a month's difference in between these two. He started posting daily, every single job, and boom, now it was dumpster rental. His area was the keyword that we used to look at both of these. And if you're not familiar with what this means, it means that in each one of these geographical locations that the dots are, it was searching for that keyword and showing where his business profile showed up. So he was like 12th here, 8th here, 9th, right around where his listing was verified. And that was a big problem. He had previously been almost number one, and then he just like fell off the face of the planet. There was a few things that his listing had been kind of shadow banned for. We can get into that in a little bit, but really, really important to be posting updates continuously. All right, so we're almost to the fun part where we're actually going to dive in with Kevin on his listing and go crazy on it here. Kevin, I actually might, if you're up for it, I don't know if you're at home or not, but I'll send you a link and you can jump in with me live here. I'll just get that link for you now, and I'll just shoot it over to you on Facebook, and we'll make that happen. Any questions so far, guys? I imagine a question that's burning in your guys' mind is what he was kind of shadow banned for. As I'm sending this link to Kevin, basically there were on updates, you need to make sure that you're not posting your website, your phone number, or emojis, stuff like that, or AI generated posts when you're posting. We kind of narrowed it down to some of those things being the issue because his listing just dropped off so quickly. So don't post your website. In a post or an update, you can link to a URL on your site. You can link to a call button. Google makes it really easy for you to use their calls to action. They don't want you to do that in the content that you're doing. Kevin, I see you sent a message here. My internet's being a little wonky. Just bear with me for a second here. Okay. I am going to just hang with me here for a second. Can you guys hear me okay? Even though things are being a little bit crazy? Just a small technical glitch here. I just want to make sure that I've still got you guys here. Just drop it in the comments if you can still hear me. Anyone? Okay, awesome. Awesome. So we've got that. Okay, I just want to make sure that Kevin has that link. It should be coming through here soon. All right, awesome, guys. So we're back in action here. So action time. This is where the fun stuff happens. So you want to get your team to go on the maps, and we're going to get into this first line item here in just a second on my next slide. But you can get them to go on. Sorry, not this one. When if your address is showing on your Google Business profile, you can have your team members ask for directions to your shop or to your listing when they show up in the morning. When they're out on jobs and whatnot and coming back to the shop, they can do the same thing. They go on maps and they search for, for your listing, for your address, and they get directions on there to then come back to the shop and do it. Of course, they don't need directions because they've done the route a million times, but having those interactions on your business profile, Google actually sees that. If customers are getting directions to come into the shop and pay a bill, Google sees that. So if you have your listing showing the address, you can have friends, family, your team is a great way to systematize this. You can have them do this consistently. You need to post regularly. We're going to get into that. That's what we're getting into on the next slide here. If you share your listing out on social media, this is a big deal. You can say, hey, we're really proud to have hit 50 reviews, 100 reviews, 2,000 reviews, whatever it is that you've hit. You can share that out on your social media and on your business page, and Google links all of these things together. You can share it as a blog post, hey, really proud to have reached, this milestone. The more you look at, and this is such a big topic, we'll have to cover in another webinar, but Google looks at every time your company is mentioned, every time any of your linked profiles to your business are mentioned or having activity on the internet. So social media posts, even just, posting of you doing a job with a client and mentioning your business and doing that. Active Facebook profiles can rank. All of this stuff is important. Questions and answers. We'll get to this on Kevin's profile as well, but you can get people to ask questions on your listing, which you then answer with what you do, where you do it, how you do it. And that's not only, some questions and answers that people can see, but Google can see it as well. And my camera has gone on the fritz here. It looks like we're back there with a different camera. Let me just see if I can get that other one. Kevin, I see you backstage. We'll add you in here in just a second. And then reviews. You must get reviews. If you're not trying to get a review every time you're on a job, you're missing out on an opportunity to help you rank. Reviews are so important. And then once you have the reviews, you want to really make sure that you reply to it. I like to say within a 24-hour period. Show that you're active, show that you're paying attention to your listing, show that you're involved in your listing. Google sees that activity. Google sees that, oh, they got an email, they reply to it right away, which means that if someone messages them or calls them, they're going to reply right away. Same with calls. Google actually does track, if you pick up the call through it. So that's a big thing. All right, so I see Wesley's got a question here. Wesley says, what do you do if you don't list an address but work in a specific area? So when it comes to the directions that I mentioned, this one here, get your team to get directions to your profile and then do it when they're coming to work or coming back to the shop. It's not going to apply to you. The social media signals, sharing it on social media, all of that is going to still apply. So, some people just can't. You can't list your listing address if you're at a home address. Just doesn't work the same. GI junk. That's how we ended up with multiple offices. Yeah, you can do DBAs, and that's a whole different topic there. You can get multiple offices and addresses if you have some locations and fill out the paperwork right. It will work there. What about a phone number on a picture? I like to keep the pictures really clean. John has a great question here. Keep the pictures clean, preferably not AI generated, and make it, just a picture of you with clients, a picture of you with, the truck or whatever. The more faces you can have, the better. Because if you go through someone's Google business profile and it's just pictures of junk or pictures of, water heaters or pictures of, new driveways or whatever it is that your business does, that's exciting to us. We love seeing pictures of junk because it feels like money, but no one else loves seeing those pictures. And Jamie says, yeah, questions and answers. Really good stuff. And I'll get into that here on the listing. So this part that we're getting into here, I took screenshots before because I couldn't share my screen on the live here with you guys. But when you go to your profile, go to Google Maps. You're then going to log in, look at Google Maps, search for your business. And then you're going to get this profile here. So I manage Kevin's listing because he just gave me access. You're then going to go down. It's going to have call, save, etc. And you're going to hit the more button. What that's going to do is it's going to pop up this menu here. I tried to take it like screenshot by screenshot here. You can then add photos. You're going to hit add photos here. And then you're going to be, have a selection of photos, whatever's on your camera reel. I just downloaded one of Kevin's photos here to use. And then you've got our Christmas tree adventure on the weekend there. But I downloaded one of Kevin's photos and I used that. So you select the photo and hit upload, and it will pop it into the listing. Then you're going to click that photo again. You're actually going to just use your thumb and click on that photo, and then we'll move to the next slide here. So you'll click that photo and it'll bring it up, into this little window here. And then you're going to have a little edit button down at the very bottom here. You're going to hit that, and then you're going to be able to add, it's a bit hard to see here, but it says, I just added a little caption here that says, cleaning out a garage in Atlanta today with the team. So you've now done a few things. You've added a picture. You're going to do this from every job. So you're going to go through, you're going to do your spiel at the beginning, asking for reviews, like, hey, we're here to do a 5-star job. Your team's going to do the work. You're going to have asked for the review at the end. You're going to have gotten the review. You're going to have collected payment, all that good stuff. You're back in your truck, or your team's back in their truck driving to the next job. This is where they can do this. They're going to take one picture that they did from the job, because you've already taught them that they should take a picture from every job, or they should take multiple pictures from every job. They're going to take one of those pictures. They're then going to go in and they're going to do this process. Log into Google Maps, click on more, add photos, select the photo, hit the photo again, edit it with a description, and then post it. Simple process. You've got your driver, you've got your other person in the truck who's probably scrolling TikTok anyway, and boom, now you've got someone who on every job could be posting a photo. I would recommend at least once a day. If you can train your team to do it on every job, and it's not just pictures of junk or just pictures of new water heaters or whatever it is that you do, this is really valuable for Google. And this is what really turned the tables for this client here. We were doing everything outside of it, but him starting to post really regularly in all the jobs he was doing was the major tipping point. And we're seeing this with other clients as well. So definitely recommend you guys make that a thing. Jamie says Google will not allow phone numbers on most uploads. Yeah, that's correct. Jonathan says, what about geotagging the photo? So phones nowadays, unless you have it turned off, when you take a photo, it automatically has the location info on the photo. And then the fact that you're posting it on the Google business profile before you go, like you're pretty much at the job when you're posting it. So that's a really big deal there for Google. We've actually tried this where someone had a remote worker, and they used to be, the business owner used to be the one posting photos. It was doing great. They were going gangbusters. Then he had someone out of country start doing the posting for him to relieve some of his workload, and his ranking dropped dramatically. So Google can see where you're posting it from, and see that happening. Daniel, great question. So anyone can add the photos. So everyone, they just have to have a Google profile, but anyone can search your listing and add photos. So if you don't trust your team to be managers of your Google business profile, you can still have them go search your listing, add the photo, go through that process, that I just showed, and then post a photo to the listing. Customers can add photos with their reviews or add photos. It's something that anybody can do for sure. Great question. Okay. Used to post the location of your job or where you are. It does. I actually don't remember exactly what you're talking about here, Jamie, but it is included in the image there. All right, guys, that's the presentation. Let's go right over to Kevin's listing. And Kevin, I'm going to let you in here so that we can. It's not just me talking to myself. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. I appreciate you jumping on to giving me access so quick. I figured this would be better for people. Awesome. So guys, we're going to go through and we're going to audit Kevin's listing, and we're going to actually update a few things, and I'm going to show you some stuff that I use in ChatGPT to help me do this faster. So there's a lot of content that you can add on your listing, and we'll get into that. And I'll show you how you can take info that you already have on your business and make that happen. All right, everybody tracking so far? Still got pretty good numbers here. So when I touched on this through the presentation, but you need to, very first thing you do, you're going to set up your business profile. That's awesome. Then you're going to go through here and you're just going to go through and look at every piece of information that they offer. And I'm going to give some explanations here on what to pay attention to. But, first thing here is your business name. Perfect. Survivor junk removal looks good. Business category. Look at what the top ranking businesses in your area have as a business category. Kevin's done a good job here, debris removal. So you have a primary category, and then you can do, I believe, recommended up to 5 different categories. So Kevin, if you do much demolition, you could add that as a category in there for that. Then we get to the description. You have 750 characters here. So Kevin's got about 60 more characters that he can put in here. The main thing that you want to pay attention to here is talk about what you do and where you do it. And that goes for everything on your website, on your business profile, on your Facebook posts. The more you can be crystal clear what you do, where you're doing it, when you're posting to your Google business profile, all of these different places, the more Google sees that. Yes, some of it can tell from geotagging, some of it can tell from where you post, but a website's a website. It's out there. Your website isn't automatically located where you are. Your Google business profile isn't automatically, located where you are. You have to tell Google where you are. And we'll get to that down here, where he has his areas where he is, right? Where he serves. But in your description here, you can talk about where you serve. So that's one thing here that I would probably add, Kevin, is primarily located in or primarily serving, I think it's Douglasville is your main area there. And we serve all these other areas. You can put that in the description here. He's got some good keywords in here, junk removal. I would probably add a few more keywords, commercial junk removal, estate clean out, stuff like that, into your listing description. So that's that there. Opening date. When did you start, Kevin? I'm going to add that right now if you're good with that.
God, it's
putting you on the spot.
It's just barely over a year. The year at the beginning of October.
Cool. I'll let you find the date there. It's not like absolutely critical the date's exact, but do go in and add your opening date. It's even if you just opened yesterday, it's still good to have. And eventually, when you've been open for a bit, Google will show on there, been open 10 years or whatever. It's just another thing. But everywhere that Google gives you the opportunity to provide info, you want to do that. Phone number, obviously here. For those of you that use tracking numbers, you can make your primary number the tracking number and your secondary number the business phone number. So that way you still have the knowledge in Google saying, hey, this is our, going back to the name, address, and phone number, you want your name, your address, your phone number, your website to be the same across the internet. This is how you can add a tracking number to your listing without messing it up, just as a small aside here. Got the website, social profiles, any social profiles that you have in here that you can add. It gives you all of these options: Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Make sure that you add those, because again, it's looking at any activity that you've got on there. It's looking at the info that you've got on there, and is it accurate? Is it the same? Does it match? And how's that all going? So Google pays attention to that. Kevin's got a service area business here, so he still had to put in his address to verify it, but it's not showing to people. So in this case, he just lays out the areas that he serves. That's great. Business hours. This is very important. Kevin, I actually noticed on your website here, we don't have this strictly in the footer. And so this is something that we really pay attention to now. But in the footer of your website, you should put your hours the exact same way that they show up on your listing. So shoot me a message after and we'll get that taken care of for you. But Google, again, is looking at this. Does your website reflect your Google business profile? Because it's looking, are the hours the same? Are the links the same? Everything there. Because Google's just a computer. It's looking at, is it true or is it not true? And if you can make everything true for Google, it makes it easier. So in this case, we would just want to put the hours down here that say, exactly the same here. Monday through Friday, whatever the hours are. Saturday and Sunday, those are the hours. You can also add special hours here. So what your hours are on, these different holidays. You can also tell Google when you're, if you're off or if you're open on these different days. And I would recommend that. Again, it shows that you're interacting. It shows that you are engaged in the process of making sure that that you have the best information out there for people. Most service businesses, this doesn't apply to a whole lot. If it does apply to you, make it happen. Click into here. If you're any of these things, disabled, Indigenous, Latino, etc., veteran, those are some pretty common ones there. Make sure that you select what attributes apply to you. You can also go in here. I'm just going to tick this off for you here. We're going to serve anybody, right? We're not going to discriminate. Service options, if you have more than one language that you speak or can serve. Spanish and English are obviously the biggest ones in the States. You want to make sure that you tick that off. It will actually show you higher to people who speak different languages. That is something that Google's looking at. So that's the main info there. Again, to keep it in simplest terms, go through and just look at everything and make sure that you have as much info in there, talking about what you do, where you do it, how you do it, and all of that. Any questions on that, Kevin?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay, let's see here. No comments there. So that's the profile information there. The rest of this is appears pretty self-explanatory. You can look at how things have gone over time. You can look at some of the different search terms that are happening here. And if you're starting to show up for junk removal Douglasville, maybe you should put that keyword in your posts when you put pictures up. Hey, we just finished a junk removal job or a garage clean out in Douglasville. And so you can pay attention to this and kind of work that into what you're doing here. Services, I'm going to get to products here in a bit because we're going to dive deep on that. Services, again, go through here. Some of these services are going to be suggested. So everything that's highlighted blue, Google suggested that based off of your website typically, based off of what you mentioned on your website. So I actually just went through Blue Crocus's one, and it had pulled in like the different services that we serve, plumbers and asphalt pavers and junk removal and whatnot, and it said those as services on our business profile. So I just had to tick those off and take them off. But again, it's looking at your website and your Google business profile and do they match. So you can go through here, add anything that you provide that isn't on here, and take off anything that's been added funny on there. If you provide bookings through here, you can put your booking engine, House Call Pro, Workies, whatever, or just link it directly to your website. You want to make sure that that's filled out because again, that's something that Google will show up sometimes when people are asking for that sort of thing. Here's where you can add updates. So you can do this from your phone as well. Updates are different than adding photos. So I recommend the photos from every job, but then updates here allow you to, hey, here's an offer. Here's a event that we're doing. Here's a review that we got that we want to highlight. Here is, you can highlight some of the jobs that you've done too. Like, hey, the team crushed it today. Absolutely awesome work. We did 3 jobs today or whatever. And it was fantastic. You can post those as well. So updates, I would try to do at least one a week. Try and think of something creative.
Hey, Louis, I have a question on those updates.
Yeah.
Typically, I'll post on those updates blogs from my website.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cool?
That's a great use of the update. Yep. Hey, new blog here. Go check it out. Whatever it was that you were talking about. Another thing too is you can and should post that blog to Facebook. It'll help get it indexed. It'll help get some more traffic to it, which will then help it rank better. And it's just this wonderful circle of life that happens on the internet. Great question and great idea there, Kevin. So that's that. Questions and answers we're going to get to in a second here. You can also look down here and look at what's Google suggesting you do. Create an offer. Maybe there's an offer you've got. You don't have to listen to everything they say, but they're giving you some tips based on your habits, and this will look different for everybody. It's saying get more reviews and so on. So questions and answers. You can get, I don't recommend friends and family leaving reviews. I really don't. I think reviews need to be real. You shouldn't be buying reviews. You shouldn't be, soliciting reviews. Questions and answers, however, you can get friends and family, and preferably it would be local people, because we've tested this of people, myself asking a question for Kevin isn't going to have the same effect as someone local asking the question. Like, hey, you could prompt them with what to ask. Hey, do you guys do hoarder cleanouts? I've got this, massive job that I'm looking to get cleaned out. And then Kevin can say, yeah, we do hoarder cleanouts, estate cleanouts, etc. That's our bread and butter, and we serve these and these areas. Great way to answer questions for people who are looking, but also put more info in there for Google. And he's done a great job answering these questions too. So that's a way that you can leverage. Your team can ask questions, your friends and family or whatnot can ask a few questions. Get like 10 questions on there that are kind of hitting those main things that people actually have questions about, and make that happen. Yeah, Jamie it does. It shows your knowledge. And again, it's more places for keywords to be on the internet. All right, everybody tracking with us so far? Any questions here? Drop them in the comments. We're going to dive into products here. Products can be useful. I think it was John that asked this before. Should you do it? Kevin's done a great job of having these all filled out with pictures and whatnot. And there's some stuff that we can do on top of this that will allow us to even get a little more oomph here. So when you click into a product or when you add a product, I'll just show you what that looks like. So if you add a product here, it's going to ask for a picture. It's going to ask for a product name. So you can put the service name or the product, like dumpsters, water heater installation, junk removal, whatever it is. Then you can create categories on your listing here. And then you assign it a category. I typically don't put the price in unless it makes sense. Like for a dumpster rental or a water heater install starting at or something. And then you have a product description here. So up to 1,000 characters that you're given to write here. Now, writing out 1,000 characters and for all the products that he's listed would take a while. So we're going to get into that in a second. And then you can put your landing page here for that service. So we're going to go in and we're going to do hot tub removal. So he's got a nice picture here. He's got it named well. It's a junk removal service. And he's got a description here. And I'm going to show you how you can use what's already existing on your website as content to then just feed that into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever and give you 1,000 character output that's accurate to your information here. And then I believe here he's got this going to his residential junk removal page. Kevin, I'd make one switch here and I would just send it right to your hot tub removal page.
Yeah, that when I built that on the Google profile, I hadn't yet added those individual pages for the service. I just recently did. Yeah, I just recently
not calling you out.
Yeah, no, I just recently did that, but that's good because I forgot to change that.
Cool. So we've got a few questions here. Weehall is asking, can we a service based? Yes, you can. I've seen this consistently, and again, it's showing people what you do, and it shows up there as it's a really nice feature here that people can see too, right? Like they can see all the stuff that you do, and it's almost, I think my Google just glitched out massively there because I know that all of his aren't that same picture, but it's a way that people can see what you do. I heard Google penalized it. I've heard people saying that too. I've never seen it personally. Is it good to go back on previous photos and add comments? If that's like photos that have been posted on your listing, yeah, you can. If it gives you the opportunity to edit it, you could certainly do that. And I also want to highlight, we're going to jump into ChatGPT. I know I've been teasing it forever, but we will get to it. I want to highlight, Kevin's got some great pictures with people. Again, junk removal is awesome to those of us that do junk removal because we just see dollar signs there. But if someone's scrolling down here, they don't really care. They want to see, okay, he's a person with a kid here. He's helping. I think this was from the job you gave away the wheelchair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. So people want to see people. There's him in all his glory there. He's there with a client. Love the iPads, by the way. It's a really nice touch.
Well, that's his clipboard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's also a really nice clipboard, then. Nice touch. The other thing that we haven't touched on is videos, guys. You're able to do short videos to your business profile, and it's actually making a difference too. So if you can add, let the basic thing you do be doing a picture from every job, or at least a picture a day. Then maybe a video a week or a video every couple days. Those things matter. And if you look at TikTok or Instagram, videos drive those feeds. People love videos. So if you can provide those videos in there, Google knows that too, and it will prioritize those as well. We went off track there a little bit. Great question there, James. So let's dive into hot tub removal. Let's see if it freaks out again here. Okay, I'm just going to go back into the edit section here, and we'll do hot tub removal. Now, I will show you what I did. So in ChatGPT, you can come in here and you can say, you can prompt it with a prompt, and I'll actually drop this in here for you guys. So anyone with the link can view this. I will drop this in the comments, and you should be able to see that. So you can snag that after, and you can also shoot a message over. If you signed up for it, we'll send it out. If you signed up for the webinar, we'll send it out after in the email. But I've got the prompts here. I've also got some other things, and we'll get into this as well. But here's a prompt that I used here, just so you don't have to write it down or remember it. But basically, you're telling ChatGPT that that it's an expert, and you're going to give it some information with a bunch of info. And what I did is I just went through Kevin's website, and I just threw it in a Word doc, and I'll just show you guys what I did. So I just took a few pages here, snagged. I just took me like 5 minutes, probably a minute actually. Went through, copied like 5 pages, the content off of it, and I included the hot tub removal page. So his homepage, his about page, and a like 3 different service pages. I then fed that into ChatGPT as a document, and I said, here's the document. Ask me any questions you have about this company so we can fully optimize the business profile. No other action needed. Then it asked me a bunch of details, which I could give it if I wanted to really, really dial things in. And I said, all right, awesome. I'll get you those. But for now, I just need you to give me a detailed SEO optimized description of how Survivor Junk Removal can help with hot tub removals, and keep it to 1,000 characters. And boom, we've now got info that's pulled from Kevin's site. So if your website content and copy is accurate, you've got accurate content that you've fed into the AI that now lets you pull that at will, and it adjusts it and turns it into content of the shape and size and feel and function that you want it to be. So Survivor Junk Removal is located in Douglasville and serves the Metro Atlanta area. So you've got what they do and where they do it. And then it's got some info about it, jacuzzis and spas, prioritizes recycling, commitment to customer satisfaction, and sums it up with reclaim your yard today. So we'll just pop that in right now for Kevin into his listing. So we can put that right here in the description. And typically it does a pretty good job of getting it pretty darn close to 1,000 characters. And there we have it. We've got 972 characters here. You can go through and edit it and change your wording if you want. Sometimes you have to. I always recommend, guys, if you're using AI, use it as a catalyst and a starter. Where I fed it all this information already about Kevin's company, it's done a pretty good job here, but you still want to verify that there's no crazy words that it's thrown in there, or it's not hallucinating or something. But in this case, I was pretty happy with it. So then we'll just publish it. Well, I'll actually do that final check here. I'm just going to add in the hot tub removal page here for you, and then we'll publish it. It takes like a minute or two usually to make the change. It just says pending there. But that's how you can actually use this trick for anything that you're doing on your website. You can use it to write a press release. You can use it to write guest posts where you're writing about your company and want to post it on someone else's website. If you feed the AI all this info about your company, tell it to remember it, and then feed you back information or content based on that, it's so valuable and can save you a massive amount of time. Because who wants to sit down and reinvent the wheel every time? I don't. So that's something there that you guys can do. Any questions on that? Let me just hit the comments here. I'm going to stalk your profile. I love it. Looking good and only a year less. Yeah, Kevin's doing an awesome job. Love it. All right. Let's get into some more tactical stuff for you guys here. In the document that I shared, again, shoot me a message if you can't snag it from the YouTube comments. But in the document, I've got a few things here. I've got an ebook here that goes through optimization as well that you can download. We're going to get into citations here. So when I mentioned your name, address, and phone number, some of you might be wondering, how can I do that? How can I get my name, address, and phone number out there? Directories are the simplest and easiest way to make that happen. We've got a list here of, I believe it's 20 of them that you can go on right now today. These are all ones that we get our clients on. We've recently added someone to them, and they're pretty simple. You can get on here. They're all free. They've got pretty high authority, and you just list out your business name, your business number, and a description of your business. It looks like we've got a few people in here, so that's a good sign. You can then use that trick I just showed you with ChatGPT to write in a unique description for your business for every one of these listings. So again, if they give you the opportunity to write a whole paragraph or a whole story about your business, all the different services you offer, etc., you can go in here and prompt ChatGPT here. I'll show you. So I am filling out a directory listing, and I need 1,500 words about my company to fill out the description. Be detailed, concise, and use SEO keywords in it. And it'll just spit it out. Because I've told it all this info. And again, you need to go through and edit it. You need to go through and make sure that it actually is accurate to your business. But now we've got unique descriptions for your business on every directory. We're done with that there. You can also go and find local directories. So I'm going to do this for Kevin here with you guys live. So you're just going to go to Google. And what I've got here is it's called a search operator. So in Google, you can do different things to help find particular pieces of information without seeing the whole internet being served up at your doorstep. So what we've done here is we've searched Atlanta, and we're looking for any website that mentions local business listing or local directory or list your business or claim your business or submit your business. I just hit enter, and boom, I get served up with a bunch of results. And I'm going to go through them. I'm going to open a bunch here. It's looking pretty promising, actually. Some of these I recognize, some of them I don't. And then we'll just go through them. So 404 area, I happen to know this is a good one here, so he can go in and claim his business on here. Web Stuff Guy, this is a web design agency, so they're probably going to market to you, but if they've got a directory on here, which it looks like they do. Oh, okay, this is the service of directory listings, that's fine. Here at Atlanta, you can do a $10 listing. And if it's a permanent one, $10 for a decent directory listing is not a bad idea. So you can just go through here and you can look and see where you can get listed. Here's a bunch of local businesses, and I would look at, okay, how can I get listed on here as a retailer? Looks like we can do a free listing. And so you just go through and you can use that search operator is what it's called. And you obviously would put in your area, and you can even go granular. So we could have done Douglasville. We could have done all the different areas that Kevin operates in. You can do this for all of your areas. And you can go out and hunt down all the directories that are out there. It's name, address, and phone number waiting to happen on the internet. And the more of them that you have, and the more consistent that you are, it comes down to trust that you're building with Google, and you just become a brand that is a happening place for Google. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to open it up for questions. I think I've got a few more things in here that we can hit if someone has a specific question. I left these in here from another webinar, but we're coming up on time here. I want to open it up for questions. Drop a comment if you found this useful, and I'd love to hear what you found useful so that maybe we can dig deeper into it, or just have some fun with you, or do another webinar on it here. So I'm going to remove this from the thing. Kevin, how's it going?
Good.
Appreciate you jumping in.
No, thank you for going through it and helping me trying to optimize it.
Awesome. Yeah. No, thanks for being willing. I know it. I hope it provided some value, and you can run.
It definitely did. I have a couple pages of notes already.
Awesome. And we'll turn this into an action list as well. After, it'll probably end up as a blog. Again, people will be able to re-listen to it. Dan says having employees put pics up will be a game changer. Yeah, it's that and directions and whatnot. It can be. It really helps automate some of this SEO stuff for you. And don't forget questions and answers as well. Getting them to ask questions and make that happen.
Yeah, I have a question actually when it comes to those photos. How do you name those photos? I mean, do you just do automatically whatever your camera names it, or do you go in and edit it? Does that make a difference?
So I used to recommend that you go in and change the name, download it to your computer and rename it or whatnot. I think that the caption is all that I would suggest you do now. So where we went in here and we added the photo, it got up there, and then we hit it, tapped the photo, and it brought us to this section. Just edit it, and that's why I put on yours, cleaning out a garage with the team today. So if you put a caption that includes what you did and where you did it, that has those keywords in there for Google to see that are attached to the photo, and then you've got the geo tagging on your listing there, or on your photo. That's all I would do now. If you have the option to easily edit the name of the photo on your phone, I might do it. I haven't figured out how to easily do it on Android on my phone. I haven't spent a ton of time. I think Apple does it fairly easily, but just a caption to streamline it and not put too many steps in place is all I would do. Okay, awesome. So we've got some good questions here. On this really, okay, here we go. We got a few. Love the DIY aspect. Something tangible as a whole. It can be overwhelming. It's not rocket science, but there's lots of steps. And yeah, I hope this helped break it down a bit. Megan says, love it, found it helpful. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Kevin, for being willing. Ray's asking, can you remove photos that are posted by others? I don't have a great answer for that. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't tried it. I would just go and try it and see. Probably from your phone. Let's see if Kevin has any that are posted. I'm not going to remove them necessarily, Kevin. I don't know the answer to that, Ray. Let me get back to you. I would imagine if you can, it would just be somewhere, in the 3 dots in the corner or whatever. You can report stuff, but I don't know if you can just automatically delete it. Jamie says, so many photos. Focusing on caption, not changing every photo to location and item is going to save me so much time. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear. Rusty says, I have an SEO company that's not helping me at all. That's not good. Shoot us a message if you want. We can take a look at what's happening. Maybe give you some tips that you can do. Or, that is what we do too. So if it makes sense, we can help you. John says, adding the service area to the description is such an obvious thing, but I missed it. Usually add the pictures on Sunday mornings. Yeah, awesome. I mean, anything you can do consistently. If Sunday is what works for you and you're like, bam, I'm going to do this every week. Consistency matters. A spurt of activity for 2 weeks after this webinar and then nothing for a month is not going to help you as much as, saying, okay, what's the minimum that I can do consistently and then committing to that. So if that's Sunday for you, John, keep that going. If you say, hey, I can do it daily, awesome. Rusty, how hard is it to switch to someone like you? That is a loaded question. Depends on, who has your website, how that's all set up. I don't know the answer until I look. Usually it's pretty painless in 90% of cases. So we'll run with that, but you don't really know until we look. Awesome. Guys, this has been fun. Great engaging conversation here. It's always fun when people are interactive. There's no easier way to say it. It makes me know that we're getting the point across. Kevin, again, appreciate you. I'll let you go here, but we'll just finish up on here. Everybody give Kevin a tip of the hat in the comments. It'll definitely help. Maybe we'll have someone on the next one here. All right, Kevin, thank you. All right. So Rusty says, thanks for the info. So Sarah, thanks for doing that, Sarah. Sarah is on my team. She's behind the marketing. So posts that you see on the business page and whatnot, she often has a massive part to play in the creation of that or running ideas by the team and whatnot. So she says you can submit for removal requests, but it may take a few days. Awesome. Pretty typical. And if you have to escalate it, you can put in a ticket as well, I would imagine. I didn't have that comment up on the page, but you can submit it for a removal request. Thanks for the info. Jamie, lots of love to you guys. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I think a lot of that is actually going to Kevin. I think that a lot of that was the tip of the hat. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Again, if you have questions, hit us up on our website, bluecrocus.ca. You can search for Lewis online. You can search for Blue Crocus. We've got our SEO pretty dialed in for those terms anyway. You can hit us up. We'd be happy to do a free audit for you. So we actually have a section on our website where you can fill out a form to get a free audit. You can email us directly or call us or text us. and you can reach out with any questions. We'd love to help you. What can we do if an SEO agency is cheating you? Well, you should take stock of the situation, and see if you can find, again, hard question to answer blanket. You need to make sure that your service providers are doing right by you. If you need a second opinion, happy to offer that. No agency is perfect. We certainly aren't. We make mistakes as well. So I will not just come in, blasting them to the ends of the world. But I can certainly say, hey, I think here's some stuff that you should be doing, or that you could ask them to look at, or whatnot, and then go from there. Awesome. So Sarah dropped that comment there from our channel. Awesome. Can't wait. Yeah, excited to have you guys. Website is almost done, so it'll be good to have that going. All right, so yeah, get in touch with us. Thank you for tuning in here today. Check out the new podcast. We've got over the holidays, I've got, I think, 2 or 3 people a week that are jumping in with me, and so we'll be having a lot of fun on there. Yesterday's was really interesting. It was a digital agency owner who has worked with lawyers and a whole bunch of really complicated SEO niches. And he had some really, really interesting stuff that can be applied to any service business as well. So guys, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I really appreciate you guys hanging out here for an hour, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Cheers.